On the 14th of August, 2018, a section of the Ponte Morandi collapsed into the Polcevera Valley in Genoa during a rainstorm. It carried the A10 motorway across the valley, above a river, a railway, and the streets of Genoa. The viaduct opened in 1967 and became one of the best-known structures in the city. It ran more than a kilometer from end to end, on 3 concrete pylons. Underneath it, in the valley, were houses, workshops, and a busy stretch of the Turin to Genoa railway. Riccardo Morandi designed it as a cable-stayed bridge, but with very few stays. As few as 2 carried a span. Each stay was a bundle of steel cables. Morandi poured a shell of prestressed concrete around them. The concrete was prestressed only lightly. It cracked and let in rain and salt air, and the steel that held the bridge up began to corrode. An almost identical Morandi bridge in Venezuela had left its stays uncovered. This one had put them out of sight. Bridges of that era were traditionally designed for a 50-year life. This one had just passed it. The viaduct had stood over the valley since it opened. The operator had already advertised the work. Reinforcing the stays on pillars 9 and 10 had been put out to tender. The bridge came down before the tender closed. The tender had a 5-year window and the work had not begun. Through the summer holiday traffic, the motorway stayed open in both directions, and nothing was propped. There was also something visible from the road surface itself, close to a stay on the pillar that later fell. A heavy rainstorm was sitting over Genoa that morning, with lightning over the harbour. Pillar 9 went, and the deck it was holding went with it. The span dropped onto the ground between the buildings, taking the vehicles that were on it. From the hills above the valley, the gap in the skyline was the first thing people saw. 43 people were killed. Rescue teams worked in the rubble for days, in a street that now had a motorway lying in it. The buildings directly beneath the bridge had to be emptied, and the families in them did not go back. Liguria was put under a state of emergency that ran for a year, and the argument over responsibility has not settled since. A minister had been informed more than once about the state of the viaduct before the collapse. What was left of the bridge was demolished the following June, and a replacement opened a year after that. The stays were few, they were hidden inside concrete, and the tender to reinforce them was still open when the pillar fell. What should a crack in a road surface be allowed to close?